All right, everybody, it's your boy Tawan from Money Travel Grow. I'm somewhere special and different. You see, I'm not in Mexico in this video. I am in my home state of North Carolina. Shout out to Rocky Mount, where I'm from. So for those of you who don't know who that is, it's actually in the eastern part of North Carolina. So, those of you familiar with it, shout out to you. And again, as always, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. So let's go ahead and get into it. And today's topic is about entrepreneurship. And I know this because I used to be a full-time entrepreneur. I had my business as a motivational speaker. I still do it on the side, but my focus really right now is digital marketing, coaching, and training and things like that. So here's the thing. A lot of people think, because of what they see on Instagram and what they see from these hyped up gurus, that you can just go out there and a business will be successful immediately. Well, folks, I want to tell you, it doesn't really work like that. In fact, businesses are definitely hard work, because your first couple of years of doing the business, you're not going to make any money. When I think back on my speaking business, I didn't really start making money until about year 4. Now, a lot of things was happening prior to that. I was trying to find out who my clients were, what I had to offer. There's a lot of things I had to do to set things up. And then, of course, the tax stuff was pretty easy to do, because all you had to do was go register for an LLC, get an EIN. All that stuff was pretty easy. You could do that in less than 3 days. But it was the attracting people to the product or the service. It's starting to get consistent income. I think that's one of the biggest challenges of being a business owner, is because most people, again, they think that you come up with this idea that 9 times out of 10 everyone else is doing. I'm talking to the real estate people. I'm talking about the people who want to sell products on Amazon. And here's the thing, you need capital to make that work. No business can survive if you don't got a constant infusion of cash coming in. So how does this relate to digital marketing and being a social media buyer and social media manager and all that stuff? How does that relate to that? Because I would tell people right now, and everything that's happening in this economy, especially if you're in America or really anywhere in general, your best bet is just to skill up. I'm not saying don't pursue being an entrepreneur at some point. I think it's important. I think it's valuable. I think it's something that we all can do and should do for tax purposes and all. However, if you're trying to stabilize your income, the best thing you do right now is to skill up. Now, some of you may say, okay, I can do coding, I can do digital marketing. Any of that stuff works great. I think if you skill up and then you move somewhere that you can enjoy a lower cost of living and a greater standard of life, that's really what it's all about. You're not stressed out. Then after that gets done, you start pursuing other things. You start investing your money in perhaps real estate, cryptocurrency, the stock market, whatever, something that is going to yield a consistent return. Now, I'm none of those things. I'm not a crypto trader. I'm not a stock market person. I'm not a real estate investor. So you'll have to find those experts in those fields, someone that you can trust, and someone that, more importantly, show you results. That's the other thing. Don't be persuaded by beautiful words and hype and motivation. Sure, those things have a place, but you got to show those outcomes too. So, always, as a term that we used to say all the time back in the day, show and prove. So you have to be able to show and prove what you're able to do. Well, what I've done, I have people who have been my clients who've gone on, and you can watch some of the videos of people who've gone on to be successful, and they're now have full-time, well-paying jobs in digital marketing. That's only going to take them further into the future, making more money. See, one of the things that I talk about in being a digital marketer, you may start off making only $40,000, $45,000, $50,000, $60,000, but that is the tip of the iceberg. Once you get into this business and get your skills up and you become invaluable, then the fun really begins. Because let's say if you know how to do SEO and media buying, and you can do a little programming on the side, which those are all skills you can get if you take a couple of hours a week and just learn and study. Once you get those skills, now you can go back into the marketplace and demand a higher salary. So, when I talk about these things, I'm talking about them because people are doing them every day and it's actually real. So my advice to you would be, before you really go after that entrepreneurial pursuit, you should attempt to skill up first, get something stable, whether that be in tech, whether it be in digital marketing, whether it be in sales, something. And I would also recommend you do it when you work remote so you don't have to go into an office every day. Once that's accomplished, then you start pursuing other interests outside of your job, taking that surplus income and starting to invest. Because if you take the hit, which you will take the hit a few times as an entrepreneur, you then can recover a lot easily, and you're not trying to sell, your house just to make it. I think there's a lot of success stories out there of people who risk it all and did it. But I think those stories are a lot rare than people believe. And also, a lot of times, these great American stories, people had a level of support. They had some place that they could go to. They weren't like, if this don't work out, I'm going to end up being homeless. It wasn't that type of situation. Maybe for some, but I guarantee you it probably wasn't for most of them. Most of them were in stable enough situations where if it didn't work out, they always had a job, at someone else's company, or they could always go back because they had the right relationships. If you're someone that hasn't built that foundation yet, and you're talking about, well, I'm 25 years old or 22 years old, I want to be an entrepreneur. I get it. Okay, you can do that. But I think you should skill up first, become, of course, go into digital marketing. I think that's the best field because it's not as technical and you don't need a lot of certifications to get started. And I think when you first starting out, those salaries are comparable to those of software engineers and things like that. So you don't need a lot to really get going. And once you do that, once you get into the field, and as I said before in my program, my coaching program, I have you ready in 2 to 3 months. That's the goal. I was talking to one of my clients the other night, and I said, look, we're going to start you off applying for jobs first so you can start getting interviews. And in the meantime, we're going to sharpen your skills. You're going to not, do probably well in your first few interviews, and that's fine, but I want you to get used to the language. I want you to get your feet wet because it's not going to make any sense for you to wait 3 months to learn the skill and then start applying for jobs. That's 3 months that have gone by, which you could have, been getting interviews and getting some experience. Like I said, 500 jobs, 8 to 10 interviews usually is what's gonna take. And if it goes anything further than that, then you just continue to do it until you get it. All you need is one. All you need is one. So, you don't need a lot of time out here where, I did 20 interviews, I didn't get a job. It's possible, but here's the thing. Once you get it, you're in there. And once you get that job, the next subsequent interviews that you go for, whether you're going for a second job, whether you're going for a sort of a switch of, going from maybe, SEO to digital marketing, or from media buying to SEO, or SEO to media buying, you already have experience with the agency. You already have experience with digital marketing, so it makes it a lot easier for you down the road. So that's all for today's video. I hope you guys are enjoying the great greenery in the background here in North Carolina. Yep, I'm from the country. Yep, definitely. A lot of you hear the birds, you see squirrels, you see all kinds of birds. It's peaceful here. But again, just do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Also, go to my my Facebook group. Make sure you become a member there. I share tons of information there, usually on a weekly basis. And hey, I just want you guys to win at the end of the day. So that being said, thanks again, and I'll check you out in the next video. Take care.